finale in the Caribbean Sea, the third of Earth's 7 deadly seas, each highlighting another aspect of man's fragile existence on a planet covered with water. Here, where the energy of warm waters escapes to the wind, a monster named Katrina makes its way toward the coast.
Ahead of the storm, the winds are pushing water, but also you have this low-pressure suction that's pulling water up to it, so you're actually pulling water towards land.
The underwater universe is rising up in a wall of water as it gets closer to shore. Meanwhile, Ronald Baker is in Biloxi, Mississippi. He has found what he thinks will be a safe haven for his boat.
The water come up gradually at first, and then boom, all of a sudden it was up all at once.
The devastating thing about hurricanes is not the wind so much as it is the water. Wind is bad, and wind does things like wiggle stop signs and blows the roofs off. But that water, when it hits the storm surge, is impressive. Water weighs, about 64 pounds per cubic foot. So if that much water is a 64-pound hammer, a wave that's 10 feet high, that's a lot of force. So when that stuff comes rushing onto land, it leaves an incredible wake of destruction in its path.
Katrina's storm surge hits 22 feet in Biloxi, reaching the top of the tree where Ronald Baker tied his boat.
We saw people's furniture, fiberglass shower stall, we saw it go by. Even saw a wedding picture float by. We watched the people around us. They was trying to salvage their belongings and do the best they could. And it just happened so quick they couldn't do nothing, really.
Baker's boat is slightly damaged. But his home, a mile and a half from shore, is totally destroyed.
Oh, Lord, it was just almost like a bomb come in,
Places like Biloxi, Mississippi were in that area where the maximum storm surge was really getting pushed up onto the lands. The terrain is so flat, and it's flat for miles inland, that a storm surge can really inundate a coastal area like that dramatically.
By the time Katrina's floodwaters start to recede 7 days later, she has racked up $81 billion worth of damage and killed more than 1,800 people. Ron Baker has seen his fair share of hurricanes, but even he was shaken by Katrina.
I mean, my grandparents never seen anything like Katrina. I don't know what it is about the storm. It looks like they just they get more aggressive, I guess you'd call it, and it's just scary. It really is.
Like a tsunami, this is the 7 deadly seas at their worst. A case of the underwater universe rising up on land into our homes where it doesn't belong. But what happens when we venture where we don't belong and try to enter its realm? Far beneath the waves, the crushing power of the underwater universe can be instant and final for human explorers.
We've only explored about 3% of what's out there in the ocean, and yet we find all these incredible things. And so the question you have to ask yourself is that what's in that other 97%?
The fourth of the 7 deadly seas is the Philippine Sea.